Well, I'm so happy that we start another video. This journey of starting this YouTube channel is super fantastic for me. Well, I started the project with wheat. You can start it with this command, npm create wheat @latest. Make sure you install the last version of the Node.js. Then you can do and run this little of code. Also install npm GSAP and npm GSAP React. They are all important for us. If you look at the package.json, I have both pure GSAP and GSAP React. Of course, if you are using a project which is not React, I don't know, it is Vue, it is Angular, you must install the GSAP based on the library. And if you are using no library, vanilla JavaScript, you can only install GSAP. Well, I close this. Also, this is my GitHub account. In the last video, I wanted to paste GitHub account in my description, but YouTube didn't let me. It says you have to have a large amount of audience and previous background to paste external links. So I am showing you the GitHub. This is the Harry Potter project that we had in the last video. And also we are working on this repository, which is Notebook GSAP. This is our project in the last video. That was cute. I like that project, but from now on we are working on this project. Make sure you connect your project to the GitHub account you are pushing, because you need to commit and also push your codes there. Well, on src I delete these files. We don't need them. We do not need you as well. Nap.js. We don't need you. We don't need you. None of you matter here. That's okay. I close this, and I believe we have a pure project here. No error. If I can say, hello, I am Ollie. We're on the same page and everything is good. Before we start everything, I make a dataset here. It's a data, and also we have a style, main.css, and dataset we have data.js. I come back to main.js and I import the CSS here. Style main.css. It's very good. A CSS, I say the body has a background color, which is black, but not total black. I say come up a little bit. It's very good. Well, on the data set, we have collectively some data, but before we jump into it, let me just bring the pictures here. We have some pictures around here, and we have a project that works fine. I come back here and I say initial the project. This chapter was so good. Let's start our project. On the dataset, I have some data like the Z index is 1, and the pick is something. And we have no other images. And also I come back here and I import some images. Here I have some list of images here, and I bring these images right here. I copy paste this. These are the dataset that I want to use in my JSX. So I come here and I say datasets.map. We have both item and index. I say return something. It's a div which has a key. I say index is good for you, and also it's an image. And I say item.pick, which is good. And if I paste it and come here, we will see we have some images right here. Well, as you can see, for the images, it is Ikigai, it is Ikebana, it is Kaizen, Shinrin Yoko, Yukio, Wabi-sabi. Personally, I entered in Japanese culture by this book. This book actually changed my mindset and my life, and this book is amazing. I suggest you this book. This is out of the lesson. This is life lesson. It is not related to JavaScript or these kind of things, but yeah. And any of the code concepts like Ikigai, Ikebana, Kaizen, Shinrin Yoko, Yukio, and Wabi-sabi, and a lot more are considered in that book and are explained. So you can use that book a lot. I come back to style, and we need something here. First of all, here we have a class, we have a div, and it has a class. Also, I would like to bring some Also, I forgot to tell you one thing, that I would like to bring TailwindCSS on our project, because in the last project I wrote everything in CSS, and I was sure that you might be bored, so I bring Tailwind to our project. I use the CDN, but if you like to install TailwindCSS in offline way, you can do that. So our HTML, and I paste it here. So we have Tailwind, and I say this is full 100 edge. Also, this is full. Everything is full here. Flex, justify center, and also items center as well. If I come back, you can see we have this. I'd like to say that we have a container for all of these images, and it is called class name, which is book. What happened? Book container. The width is 300 pixels, and also the height is 300 pixels, which is good. Here also I can remove this index because the Z index is working same as the index, so we don't need to just write the other stuff here. I believe we do not need any image tag here because we can use it on our background. So I say background, I'm sorry, I say style, background image equals URL. Inside of the URL, I bring this picture. We have nothing right now because the div is not defined how much the size of the div is, and I say 150 pixels. Also, I say for the edge, I'm sorry, 115 pixels, which is good. I'd like to bring this here again, and we say for the LG, and I say for the LG, $300 is okay for you. So if I come back again, as you can see, we have this. Also, I say image ratio, and we control everything else here because if I write it there, it might be too much crowded in the class names. So I say background color, repeat, we have no repeat. Background size is cover, background position is center, the cursor is grab. If I come back, you can see we have this kind of images here, but it is a notebook, so you might guess what I'm going to say. They all have to be positioned in absolute because all of them should be in above each other. How do we control that this page is under that page or is above another page? With here. I say Z index is equal to item the Z index, which is cool. Now if you see, it has a Z index of 6. On the image, which is Yukio, Z index of 5. On the Yukio, it's Shinrin Yoko picture, and it is the Z index of 4, and so on to the Z index of 1. And we want to grab it, pull back here, and we flip the page. So simple. We have two events that we can put on our elements. One of them is onDragEnd, and the other is onDragStart. What are the differences between onDragEnd and onDragStart? Well, the core difference is when I drag here, onDragStart starts and call the function. And when I leave my mouse alone, onDragEnd function will be called. So I say handle onDragStart, and I say handle onDragEnd. Also, we have both handle DragEnd and handle DragStart for our project. So I start with handle DragStart. Also, I bring it above the end. I say we have a variable which is called last drag, and it equals to 0. Well, on handle DragStart, we want to understand only one thing. Like what? Like I say, in the x-axis, which and where place of the element did the user click? For example, the user click here, here, or here. And to do that, I need to say client e.client x. If I inspect it here, come back to console. As you can see, the center is around 618. If I come back here, as you can see, the number increases from the center point. But if this is the center, if I come back a little bit, as you can see, the number just decreases. So we capture the point that the user just started to drag, and we save it to last drag. Actually, the last drag is not a good name because it is the first drag. The first drag. That's very good. On here, again, we have E, and I say just log for me endpoint, which is e.client x. And also log for me the start. which is first drag. Now you can understand what we are doing here. For example, I started in this point, but I ended this point. So it means I drag it to the right side. But if I drag it to the left side, the end is here, and also the start is here. You can see that from this technique, I can understand the user dragged on left side or on the right side. These numbers show us. It's very good. It's very good, and everything works really, really good. But I would like to say something. I say, okay, this is our notebook, and I want to drag it to the left side. If I drag to left side, this wabi-sabi page comes here. And when the wabi-sabi page is here, I want to add a class name to wabi-sabi name. So I say if actually, let me check again. The end must be lower than the start. So I say e.client x is smaller than first drag. Do something for me. Else, do something else. What do we want to do? We want to say e.class name e.target the class list dot add dragged. Else I say remove the drag. What does it mean? Let us see in action here. This is our div, and I say if I bring it here, dragged is here right now. But if I bring it here, dragged is removed. It's very good. So what do I want to do with drag? It's so simple. I say we are flipping the page. So we need a good rotation, which means I can write it here like, for example, transform, not translate, actually rotate y, and I say, for example, 100 degree. Let's see what we'll have here. Oh, the value is not correct. I should say degree. So it's working, but I say transform origin is on center and on left. What happens here? It goes back there. That's what we do right now. This is the base book that we have here, but instead of here, I would say let's control everything in GSAP. So I write a function here, which is const do animation. I don't know, the name is not good. I know that do animation is not good. Maybe flip animation. Flip animation. And I say GSAP dot to I say the flip animation, flip animation as well. And I pass the element, actually, yeah, I pass the element here and here. I say we have an element. Well, we have an element which is here, GSAP2, and we want to say something. We want to say transform origin is exactly what we said there. It is center, and also it is left. The rotation in y-axis actually we want to pass it through the argument, because in here we say 100 degree, but in here we say come back to 0. Also, I say the duration is 3. GSAP is not defined. It's very good. Also, let's say the ease is power to in and out. I refresh the page. Okay, I believe we said something wrong, which is center here. Center left. As you can see, we are having the animation, and if I come back, everything works fine here. But we have a little problem, because everything works fine here, but actually the order of the pages are handled by Z-index. You see, we have dynamic Z-index here. So what happens, let me just show you in details. This is the last page that are what we see here. This is the 6th page here. When I flip the page here, this should come up here. And we see the 5th page here. And when I drag it here, again, the 5th page should come back here. And so on. But to do that, we need some mathematics after the animation, which is element the style the z-index equals to items the what happened items the length dataset the length minus element style z-index plus 1. So if I come back here, as you can see, now we have the right order. And if I come back, everything works fine. And for the dragged, also we have to add the dragged here. So in here I say e.target the style, not a style, actually the class list the something dragged, add, and this is remove. This works fine, but we are repeating something here. So I say after this, or we can say before everything, this is element class list, but instead of add or remove, I say toggle dragged. So I say before or after, doesn't matter. The position is again absolute. We have no contents. Width is 100%. Height is 100%. Top is 0. Left is 0. And background color is something like this, but a little bit transparent. I'd like it to just be around more white than yellow. Everything works fine right now, right here, but there's something little bit. This power 2 in and out is not working fine. What are we gonna do? I want the first image and the last image to be elastic, like const is first last equals to, well, element style z-index equals to 1, or it equals to the last one, which is dataset length. So if it was 1, or if it was 6 or 7, or I don't know, depends on the length, come here in the east, if it was, do the elastic for me, else do the sign in out. And for the duration, again, if it was the first or last, B3, or else be 0.3, because it really depends on the ease that we are using. This is good for sign and this 3 is good for elastic. So I come back. Everything is working fine, I believe. Could we use some React hooks like useState to handle everything? Yeah, sure. With useState, we had lots of things easier. But remember, this book is on 6 pages. But what if we have a book like 700 pages? If we used useState for updating any state, the whole component will render again. The whole 700 pages will be rendered again, which is insane, and I don't want to do that. You don't want to do that because no one wants to do that. This is working fine here, but I would like to do something else. You see, on the responsive, what just happened? We will have some problems. We have 2 options on the responsive. First of all, is the fact that we need to bring it lower than 115, which is not a good experience for, it is not a good experience really for the users. I believe this 150 is small as well, but I can't do this any smaller just to be responsive. It's insane. So I say for the media query, like max width, I want to say like the whole idea of this just be rotated. Transform, translate x degree. Actually rotate, I'm sorry, rotate x. As you can see, if I rotate around x, it rotates in x axis. We do not need that. If I do for y, it rotates around y, which is not good. We want to be rotated in z axis. If I rotate around z axis, like 90 degree, now it works in almost any pages that we want to. So I say transform in z axis. As you can see, now we have better understanding, like it's been rotated on the phone. I don't know why it is not working on here with this tool, actually. Now it works fine on responsive, but maybe we need to bring it a little bit down there. as you can see, it became on the center of the page. So everything that we wrote here, we copy and bring it back here. So it's like the user just rotates their phone. I believe it is the only way to be worked on the mobile devices. Okay guys, I thought the project is finished, but it is not finished. As you can see, we have some responsive like this, and when I do this, it's not working. But I built it. Now I think we can see it on the Netlify. What was the name? Notebook. This is the built version that I had, and I tested on my mobile phone, and I understood we can't do this on touch screen. So we need another kind of solution. I thought about it and I said, okay, what if we put some, I don't know, some next or previous button, like where is it? We can use this button to just say, okay, go on the next page or on the last page. So I come back here. Outside of the book container, I say there's a button, which we have an image. I say action button image. The width is 100%. Also, there's a class name, which is action button, and also action button next. I copy this and I paste it right here, and I say action button previous. I come back here and I say import action button image from assets pics. What was the name of the pic? Okay. Let's see what we have here. We have two kind of images. Let's go on the style section and do some painting. So I say action button. The width could be 40 pixel. Position is absolutely. Left is not completely 0. I want some space between the device edges and also the buttons. Display as flex. Justify content center. Line items is center. Padding is kind of 10 pixel. And also the border is 2 pixels. Solid, we want a color. Also the border radius is 15% because I want it to be circle, but for the color for this I say, let's come back here. Just for the test I say color, whatever. So that's the color we want to use. it's very good, but I don't know why the border radius is, oh, the border radius, so it's kind of circle. Okay, I believe that's working very good. Next, and also previous. But before that, let us just say media screen max width pixels. What just happened? Pixels. Actually, not the max, the minimum. Now I say display is 9. So we have nothing here, but when we go on the mobile phone, we will have the buttons. So the next button should be around here, and the previous button should be around here. And I say the next button, top is 10 pixels. The previous button is 10 pixels. That's very good. So for the rotation, I say transform rotate 90 degree. If it's correct. No, it's not correct. Minus 90. It's very good. So we have two buttons, next button and also the previous buttons. Let's come back to logic and see what is going on the logic side. Unfortunately, we have some kind of more difficult logic that we had before, because with the drag, unfortunately, we have some kind of more difficult logic that we had before, because here on onDragEnd and onDragStart, we access to elements so easily, but for this, we do not have any access to the elements, and it's kind of more difficult for us. So let's use some useRef. Const pages ref is equals to useRef. It's an empty array. Let's come back here, and in this section I say the ref the current. By the way, we need index here. Is equal to item. So if I log pages ref, you can see that we have an array of oh no, not the item, the element. We have an array of all of the pages, but in DOM demonstration. So both these buttons has kind of a same onClick, handle click, but u is next, and u is previous. I come back here and I say const handle click is equal to a function, and I say the state here, or maybe the status. If status is equal to next, we say go next by button, else we say go previous by button. So here I write both functions, go next by button, and also go previous by button. So let's log here. I say next, and here I say previous. Let's come back and see what we have here. This is next, and this is previous. Everything works fine until now. Let's come back to our go next by button function. Const notebook equals to what was the name of the ref? PageRef. PageRef.current. We want to map over all of the pages. I say let index in notebook. So when we map over all of the pages, page 1, page 2, page 3, we want to map over all of these tags. I say we have some conditions. So guys, I just made a demonstration to you for the conditions that we have, because it might look like complicated in the first watching. So first of all, I say one thing. I say if we are having the last page and also it has not the dragged class, this is our last page. As you can see, this is our last page, and also we have no dragged class. Okay, that's very good. If we had the last page and it has not the dragged class, flip the animation. I pass the element, and also I say rotate around 180 degrees, just like this that we have here. Okay, it's very good. Else, anything but this condition, else of this condition, which means the other situations. In the other situations, again, I come and make a condition. I say, look if it has dragged class. For example, I come back here. It maps over the elements. It look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this, then come to this and say, okay, we have a dragged class. What do you want to do? I say flip the animation, but for the element before, I say you come here, you see the dragged, but for the last element, do the animation. And also break, because we do not need you anymore. That's the whole conditions we want to execute. So let's do this. If index equals to notebook length -1, and we just executed this section like this, okay? And we want to do for this. I come back here and I say notebook index dot class list dot contains dragged do something for me, else do something else. Normally I come back here. Instead of this, I say notebook the index rotate around here. So we have an error. We don't have any error. I'm sorry, it has not the class of dragged. As you can see, we have the animations here, but for the nexus, we do not have anything here. Log else. Do you see that? We have the first page, but as you can see, we have the else's. Very good. So you understood well. We check if this is the last page. This is the last page. Also, we check the last page does not has a class of dragged. We are checking this here. If the whole condition is true, we do the animation. Let's go back to the else. What condition we have? Has dragged class. So again, I copy this section and I say if we have exactly this situation, do something for me. What do you want to do? We want to flip the animation again. But instead of index, I say index -1 because we want the last element to be rotated. Also, I say break, don't continue. So you see, everything is working fine. I remove the comment sections here. I copy and paste all of them for the previous section, but we need to change some of the logic here. I say, for example, here instead of this, we need 0. Why? Because now we are dealing with this button and we want the first page. The first page is a 0. Also, we want to say if the first page is here and also it has a dragged class. Do you see? This is the first page and it has a drag class. Do this animation but in 0. Also, I say if any of the elements had dragged, you do not need to go on the last element. And also 0. Well, let's see what we have here. Guys, we had a problem because I forgot to write a break here. When we do not write a break here, we have some kind of a problem. As you can see, the first 2 pages flip, but when I write a break here, I say, okay, break down here and don't continue the whole loop anymore. So if I refresh the page, as you can see, we had no other problems. The first page flips and the other pages. Very good. Well, we had and we finish the whole logic of the next and also previous buttons. Everything works fine here and we're good. But the whole code became a mess. And in the next section, I'm going to refactor a little bit of the codes and we say goodbye and go to our homes. Okay, for the refactor sections, I start from the top. I say GSAP. I say dataset. The image. React. Also, there's no logical reason. I am just my eye used to see React hooks in top of everything. So this section is good. These codes are fine. For this, I say we have some kind of a repetition. We call this function twice. We can call it once only. The element is cool, but we bring this condition here. Do you see the difference? In a classical way, in a junior way of thinking, you can write classical if and else, but we are calling the function 2 times. but right now we call the function once. We write the whole condition here. And for this one, first of all, as you can see, we have lots of repetitions here. So I write a function like isDragged. I write an element in the argument. We return it. So instead of these long codes here, we come back here, we finish this, and also we say isDragged, which is much more simpler. Also for this. isDragged. So if I refresh the page, the whole logic is working fine and we will have no problem. Well, by the use of isDragged, everything looks much more smaller. And everything works fine till now. Well, I'm so happy that we made it. Also, I'm so happy that we made it, both by buttons and both by dragging. Everything works fine here. Thank you so much for watching this video. Actually, I wanted to make 3D model of a 3D animation by the use of Three.js, but I said, okay, before we go on the Three.js, because Three.js might look like a little bit complicated for the beginners, I said, okay, let's just do something fun, minimal, and cozy with GSAP. After that, we go on the next project, which is the notebook. Maybe this notebook, maybe another model of notebook, but by the use of Three.js, not GSAP. Thank you so much for watching this video, and have a good life and have fun with front-end development.